Welcome back to the Fallout New Vegas Perfect playthrough. Let's get started on these Brotherhood quests. And first and foremost is there was a laser pistol dropped in the nearby area, and also in that vicinity, one of the patrols was there. So we'll start investigating this way east. And if you recall last episode, we heard from Ramos, I believe it was, that McNamara took over after Helios 1, and nice shoot. Took over after Helios 1 and set them on a counter-offensive west. And we'll remember that Colonel Moore said that they just let them go, and then they disappeared. Well, they sent them, we're going to be retracing that assault from the other direction, down Scorpion Gulch, as that is most likely where McNamara led them. West through Scorpion Gulch to Hidden Valley, where they then just disappeared. And we'll have to repair Joshua Graham's armor. Well, we have plenty of caps, so that's not a big deal. But now I've already forgotten what I was going to get. Oh yes, radiation supply. So there's Mo, the name Centaur. Pretty easily dealt with. And here are the Paladins with their mission holotape. And let's clean up these Centaurs. I don't really know why Mo is named. Maybe just to show that he's a badass who could kill a Brotherhood of Steel patrol. I got a couple badasses with me as well. And yes, this is one way you can get into Black Mountain a little higher up the hill. But we need to be killing them with that gun, so we're going to take the long way around when we go to ascend Black Mountain. And now we'll continue looking for the pistol east in Scorpion Gulch. I feel like this is a not very often completed little mini quest, and it has a decent amount of effort put into it. As here's the Scorpion Gulch, and tons of rad scorpions. And I believe it was described where the pistol was to us on top of this rock. Here's a Wastelander with a star bottle cap, if you're still collecting. And there it is. It's specifically tagged as missing laser pistol. And once you pick it up, a bunch of scorpions appear. Attack you. Get ready to fight them. I think Boone is doing a pretty good job handling them. I don't know why the heck that doctor said the thing they treat the most is bark scorpion venom, because scorpions are real pushovers, and you expect the Brotherhood of Steel to be able to deal with them. Kind of embarrassing for the Brotherhood. But we'll keep pushing through Scorpion Gulch just to check it out. And one of the things that you just saw there is that the scorpions keep coming out throughout the ravine, throughout the gulch. And See, it's like they like put effort into it. They put like some spawns and surround you. That's pretty cool. And then you come out here and you see Helios 1, and that's what makes me think. McNamara took him on a counteroffensive west. This way is west, through the Gulch to Hidden Valley. And that's just one of the great things about New Vegas is everything in it makes sense. They put that extra little bit of effort into it, and it's appreciated by me. And now let's head into Nellis Air Force Base, where they won't bother us. They won't attack us with their artillery anymore, because we're beloved by all. We gave the mini boomers all those little rocket toys and dino toys, so they won't mind as we go to get this guy's mission holotape. And let's see what those mission holotapes say. And yeah. Highly unlikely they have any weapons that can seriously threaten someone in full power armor. Huh, that's a foolish thing to say. And it seems like he said another foolish thing. The mutants there have been reasonable in the past and may prove helpful. Yeah, that's times change there a bit. Seems like he gave some bad advice, McNamara. But now that I've realized that Joshua Graham's armor is broken, it's actually not that big a deal that it's broken, because the 8D damage threshold ain't that bad. But man, doing tons of upkeep, man. This is why people don't like hardcore mode, just constant little upkeep. But 8 damage threshold ain't that bad, but you know what, we got the caps.
Been doing a lot of good work.
Yeah, give me some repairs. It's only 4,000 caps, that's like nothing. See you later. And there's nothing else for me to do here.
More than you already have? Might want to ask around, but truth is, you've already helped out a lot in the short time you've been here.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I guess I've never heard that dialogue before, though. Alright, we got the holotapes. We ain't giving them to Hardin. We ain't investigating the chain that binds. As you can see, the dust storm is overhead. And the Brotherhood patrol is moving out.
Doc Schuler's a lifesaver. I was hurt in training the other day and she picked me right up.
Also, Boone doesn't seem to really care about the Brotherhood. Or the Great Khans, really. He's just Legion that riles him up. Well, the NCR have had various wars with the Brotherhood. And the NCR is always victorious, no matter what anything other piece of media says to you.
Hello.
And we'll do the most important quest first.
Have you found it? I need to give my report to Hardin soon.
Got it right here.
Oh, thank God. Hardin was about to start an inquiry into the whole affair, and more than a few heads would have rolled as a result. Since you helped me, I'll tell you what. I work on some of our busted weapons in my spare time, so I have a few pieces that are kept off the books. Here, take this. I hope it comes in handy. Our patrols are always bringing
no
new stuff
offense,
in.
but I am
Take a
going to
look.
sell that tri-beam laser rifle right back to you.
Pleasure.
And you might notice those sweet power armor stuff in the back there. You just gotta pickpocket Knight Torres if you want to steal it. That one ain't that hard.
The reports say Mr. House's robots are now using tech.
And it seems like we're here late at night, so I don't know if everyone will be where I expect them to be. Did we talk to this scribe? Oh, that's just random Brotherhood scribe. But I think Torres and Watkins will have a little dialogue for us now that we found the little pistol. Oh yeah, they're right here. They're Stanton. Who's Torres? Torres is the one I just talked to.
Hey, I heard the pistol got returned. Thanks a lot. I am never going to listen to Watkins again. Believe me.
Yeah?
And there you go. There's our nice little resolution. Seems like Hardin's kind of a dick. He's making such a fuss over this laser pistol. Yeah, we're not helping him.
Found the missing patrols, or was something else on your mind?
Yes. Here are their holotapes.
They were all dead then. I suppose I'm not surprised. We have few friends in the world above, and many enemies. But we must turn our minds to other matters. When I sent out those patrols, I also sent 3 knights out on scouting missions. When the patrols failed to return, we assumed the worst, and sent a single communication to the scouts to hold position and maintain radio silence. I want you to contact those scouts and gather their reports. Like the patrols, they have devices on them that will enable you to track them. When you find them, tell them you're my representative, and ask them if the bears are still hunting. That should get them to talk to you. Return when you've gathered all of their reports.
Very well. Oh no. Oh no. I think the game crashed. Quick restart. Yeah, I guess the Hidden Valley bunker's a crash hot spot as well. In New Vegas. But we had recent loading screens, so we're not too bad.
Found the missing patrols?
And now we'll just skip through the dialogue. And that wasn't a bad delay. And now here's hoping we'll do better here. You know what? We'll save here. How about that? Yeah, a little trouble there, huh, Vegas? And, I think now that we've turned in the laser pistol, Ramos should tell us something.
Oh, hey there.
I guess not yet. Someone's gonna tell us that they give us, like, old energy cells. Or recycled energy cells, that's it. The real thing I'm worried about is Veronica's quest. Veronica's quest is weirdly buggy. But, yeah. It's easy to get lost in Hidden Valley. But, the first, of the 3 dudes, scouts, is, not too far away, to the point where it just makes more sense to walk there. Here we go. We're out of the sandstorm. That's actually pretty vision obscuring. And all those tick marks are just scorpions. And yep, this takes me back to the beginning of the perfect playthrough. What a wonderful time that was. And here's our scout.
What do you want? And don't try anything funny.
And I'm Elder McNamara's representative. He said to ask if the bears are still hunting.
You speak truly, for it is unlikely that an outsider would know both the Elder's name and that passphrase. Very well. I've been observing the penal facility there in the distance for some time now, after having followed some rather disturbing rumors. Eventually, the NCR got around to putting the prisoners down, but not until they had wreaked havoc on nearby trade routes. Eventually, the NCR got around to putting the prisoners down, but not until they had wreaked havoc on nearby trade routes. Give this to the Elder. My observations are all within. Perhaps he will have a better idea of what this situation portends.
And there's the first report. And unfortunately... Oh, enemies are nearby? They're not that nearby. But unfortunately, the quest marker goes back to the Hidden Valley too. But what are you gonna do? And here is scout number 2. Or, well, around this little outcropping is scout number 2. And this quest seems so easy. And you're just talking and collecting. And then all of a sudden, it gets not so easy. They send you to the vaults. And Veronica sends you to the
Don't
vaults as
take
well.
another step if you value your life. For what purpose do you approach me?
Elder McNamara sent me as his representative. He asks if the bears are still hunting.
Strange that the Elder should send an outsider, but I suppose he has his reasons. My observations have mostly focused on the small town to the south of here. It was cruelly attacked, its inhabitants slain nearly to the last. That such an act could occur so far west is nearly unthinkable. The NCR has forces in all directions, and an outpost scant miles west from here. That they have not responded to this violence shows either an unwillingness or inability to properly defend their borders, which is telling. I've collected such musings in this report. Please take it to the Elder.
Oh no. I think I've just realized that the motor runner's room in Vault 3 is some of the technology that the Brotherhood wants. Oh no. Well, it shouldn't be that hard to get, considering I killed all the fiends in there. Hopefully they haven't respawned. Even if they had, it's not a big deal. But, I told you my motto was efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. Now I seem like a fool again. That's okay though. And here's the final
Hello.
scout.
Approach slowly, stranger. If you have no business with me, then go.
Elder McNamara sent me for your report. He asks if the bears are still hunting.
Then I am sworn to report. I've been dividing my time between the camps to the north and south of here. One belongs to the NCR, the other to a band of slavers known as Caesar's Legion. I was sure the NCR would quickly win, but that has not happened. Instead, the two sides maintained a long stalemate, and only after an extended duration did the NCR finally destroy its opponent. When they did, it appeared they did so with the help of fresh reinforcements. I do not believe they could have managed the feat without them. That savages such as these could last so long against the NCR is troubling. Please, take my findings to the Elder. He'll know what to make of this.
And yep, here are our scout reports, which we can't read, unfortunately. And I have decided that I am making an exception coming up. Just as I made an exception with the survivalist, and I made an exception with Mr. House's obituary, and that when we come upon Vault 11, I will be getting my jug of iced tea out, keeping my pipes nice and clean, you know, keep the throat and voice good and warmed up, and we're gonna do a little bit of reading because I like Vault 11 so much that we'll read through all the lore, which will be a little challenge for me because you got to make sure to find it all. And you got to go through all the reading, but I think it'll be worth it.
Have you had any luck finding the scouts? Or did you have something to discuss?
Yes, I did. Here are their reports.
Good. Let's take a look. If I'm reading this right, it appears that the NCR's grip on this region is nowhere near as firm as I thought. I'll have to review these in detail, but these reports have given me much to think about. Thank you, Outsider. You've become someone I can count on. So I believe I can share something rather confidential with you.
Just tell me what you want me to do.
I would like you to find the components we need to fix this bunker's air filtration system. I cannot overstate the importance of this task. See Senior Knight Lorenzo for the details. He's the one who brought the matter to my attention, and the only other person who is aware of it.
Man, McNamara likes to keep secrets. There's Hardin. So, maybe, I do know where Lorenzo is, because we saw him last episode.
Seems the NCR is... Hello again, my friend.
Oh, we can talk to this guy.
I hope you've been finding the information in the data store useful.
He got a quest marker, I don't know why.
Good to see you again. What can I help you with?
The Elder wants me to retrieve components to help fix the air filtration system.
So now I'm going to have your death on my conscience too? Great.
What?
You think you're the first person the Elders trusted with this? He sent 3 of our patrols out looking for those components, and they're all dead. I was the one who supplied the Elder with the location of possible sites where we could find the components, so their deaths are my fault.
And now it's your turn. Well, don't say you weren't warned. I won't take the blame when you die horribly. But I can tell you're getting impatient.
The items I'll need to keep the system running are a differential pressure controller, a reverse pulse cleaner, and several HEPA cartridge filters. At present, my best guess for finding the items would be to search any of the old vaults in the area. Those vaults were usually built much like these military bunkers, even using the same contractors in their constructions at times. I'll mark the vault's locations on your map. Best of luck to you.
Interesting. That seems to, oh, it's jammed me.
Morning.
It seems this whole picture is coalescing. And those patrols. Those patrols were sent out for a particular reason, huh? And yes, we grabbed the one in Vault 22 already. And now we will see me burn with embarrassment, as we should have grabbed the one from Vault 3. But didn't. Alas. We'll have to stop there once again. See if everyone's dead or if everyone's respawned. Everyone has respawned, it seems. Well, let's just head in the vault and see if everyone's respawned in the vault. Okay, well at least the vault is clear. So that should make this somewhat quick. And here it is, of course. I even remember thinking to myself something about looking in the lockers. But I ignored that frantic part of my brain telling me that a grave mistake was on the way. Though, as I said before, the perfect playthrough is always perfect, as we can always go back and, you know, deal with any issues. And let's see if we can fast travel. We cannot. Oh, we got a little rapid reload glitch happening. You just have to re-equip the weapon. And I also don't think we need to defeat all these fiends either, but rather just leave the area. So all in all, not a terrible delay. The Vault 22 delay would be worse. That's for sure. And now, here we are. Vault 11. My favorite of the New Vegas vaults. And we will be reading it all. And I prefer not to draw my own conclusions with my commentary. I prefer to present the info to the viewer in terms of dialogue and let you all come to your own conclusions and bring that sort of objective part to it. And so keep that in mind. Maybe I'll give my thoughts at the end, though it explains itself pretty clear. So first we stumble upon 3 skeletons and a 10mm pistol. 4 skeletons. 10mm rounds and a terminal. Here's a security recording. Note added, Vault 11. 4 corpses at the front entrance of Vault 11 and a strange recording point to sinister events. Determine what happened to the citizens of Vault 11.
Are we really gonna do this? It's open. We could just leave.
I couldn't. Not after that.
We don't deserve to leave. A shining example.
You're mine.
That's what it called us. But we were. We did what we were supposed to. Not by a long shot. Anybody would have done what we did.
You ask me? That's exactly the problem. Now let's get on with this.
I'll go first. Wait. People should know what happened. They could learn from it. If there's anyone out there at all, I hope they never have to find out. Ready, Harry? Yeah. No, wait!
I've never had a legionary assassin follow me into the vault. A vault before. But there we go. There's our first clue. A strange recording of gunshots and a mention of something horrible. We also see posters throughout the vault. Glover has done nothing wrong. Vote for Stone. Rumors about Haley are baseless. Vote Stone for Overseer. Haley is a known adulterer and communist sympathizer. Elect Haley for Overseer. Don't vote Glover. His family needs him. I hate Nate. And it seems that all these posters are sort of the opposite of what you'd expect. Instead of begging for the election of their candidates, they're begging not to be elected. For others to be elected. So we'll explore further. And we see these posters truly everywhere. Seems the whole vault has been centered around these elections. And here we see a doctor's office, but nothing more. So let's continue on downwards. More of the same posters, even on the floor. And here, finally, a computer room. This one, trap terminal. But this terminal was fine. So let's see if we can get any more info from the public terminal. Vault 11 Election Guide. Dear fellow Vault Dweller, congratulations. Your dedication to the democratic process is the bedrock upon which the continued stability of Vault 11 is based. Now, to help you make your decision for this year's election, the coalition of Vault 11 voting blocks has put together this handy dweller's official guide to obtaining overseers democratically, or do good, that contains a summary of the leading candidates for overseer, as well as their statements, key positions, and most importantly, endorsements. Sincerely, Roy Gottlieb, Chairman, Coalition of Vault 11 Voting Blocks, President, Justice Block. Candidate Henry Glover. Endorsements: Utilitarian Block, Divine Will Block, Allied Service Workers Block. I'm a devoted husband and father of 6 beautiful children. My oldest, Sam, was on the honor roll this quarter, and I couldn't be prouder of him. My youngest, Henry Jr., just said his first word, and it was Dada. We've got this bond already, and he's still just a baby. Friends, when you go to the polls this election, I want you to think of your own children. Then I want you to think of Sam and Henry Jr. Picture their faces. Nate Stone should be overseer, not me. Candidate Donna Haley. Endorsements: Human Dignity Block, United Vault Technicians Block. I'm aware of the rumors circulating about me. I want everyone to know that they are vicious lies being spread by the other candidates in a desperate smear campaign. I have never in my life done anything so depraved, let alone 4 such things. But even if I had, that still wouldn't mean you should vote for me. Consider the fact that I am grossly underqualified for the position, and that both of my opponents are far more deserving. I know nothing about governance. You would be hard-pressed to find a worse candidate than me. I can promise you my administration would be a disaster. Candidate Nathan Stone. Endorsements: Justice Block. This is ridiculous. I shouldn't even be a candidate, and I wouldn't be if it weren't for all the dirty backroom politics going on around here. It's sickening. You should all be ashamed. Interesting. Not the typical statements of candidates. And then we have a notice of postponement. Fellow citizens, due to the tragic events of the past few days, the coalition of Vault 11 voting blocks has unanimously decided to postpone the election for overseer pending further investigation into the murders. Your security team wishes you to know that they are working tirelessly day and night to find the perpetrator and are already following up on a number of promising leads. God willing, if the killer is apprehended swiftly, we may have found a promising new candidate for overseer. Sincerely, Terry Hart, President Human Dignity block. Overseer Order 745. Effective immediately, the traditional selection process for Overseer is hereby ended. In lieu of a yearly election, a citizen will be chosen 1 month prior to the start of his or her term with our mainframe's random number generator, ensuring complete impartiality and fairness. Catherine Stone, Overseer. Interesting. Murders, and they would select this candidate for Overseer. And then Catherine Stone is eventually the Overseer. Any relation to Nathan Stone? Husband and wife, perhaps? And as we see, this I Hate Nate poster has been overwritten with a K for Kate. Let's delve further into the vault and see if we can discover more. The enemies of this vault are not particularly overwhelming. It seems just mantises and rats, as if the vault was supremely abandoned. And not as if... seems more as if they went into an abandoned vault, as opposed to them being the reasoning behind the vault's current state. We see a general store. We see a sign pointing to the administration, male dorm, and the female dorm. So first, let's go to the male dorm and see what we can find there. Of course, we're going to be collecting jumpsuits, as that's still one of our priorities. And we continue to see the same posters that have been present throughout the vault. And we're desperately looking for terminals, as hopefully they will clue us in into the mess that happened here. And in seemingly a public room, we find one. And play for the winning team, enlist with the Justice Block. Huh. This must be the Justice Block's headquarters. And after quickly getting into this terminal, is that the same security recording? And here's the same notes as earlier. Ah, no, we have Justice Block HQ security tapes.
It's done. We're done. Nothing's done. She's got the authority. The only thing she can't do is change her own fate. Nothing says she can't change the selection process for future overseers. I say she can't. You shouldn't have toyed with her like that, Roy. We still have the majority. We don't vote for anything anymore. I'm not talking about voting. What then? You want to have a sit-in? A hunger strike? Not exactly. Maybe march into her office with torches and pitchforks? Yes. Come on. I mean it. What? Start a revolution? Laws don't outlast their governments. Roy, all we have to do is wait until someone from Justice Block gets picked for Overseer. Then we have them change the law back. There won't be any blocks after the new Overseer is picked tomorrow. Everyone's going to move on. By the time we've reformed, who knows if we'll still be in the majority? We can hold the block together. You don't know that. Besides, what if the computer picks you? What if it picks me? And your solution is to start shooting? Not if we don't have to. Look, we arm up. We go to
lower floors, take some strategic targets. Power, food, water.
Keep looking.
Just until she turns authority over to us.
The other blocks won't support it. They're tired of us having the power.
We have the majority. We don't need them.
This isn't a vote, Roy. They'll fight back.
They've never had the nerve.
Hell of a way to test it.
And it seems from this note, this recording, that this is a reaction to this new rule of randomly picking the overseer. It seems that the Justice Bloc once had complete control with their references to the majority, and that now they no longer have control because of this random selection process. So we'll have to investigate further. Get the hard truth about what happens to the overseer. In here is security. And first we'll open up this armory. Check the loot inside. And the cool thing in here is a mini nuke, which I guess symbolizes that they were quite well armed. And some grenades, energy weapon ammunition, and the Justice Bloc posters are here, which I believe symbolizes their control over security, perhaps. And here you go. There's the Human Dignity Blocks poster. And we see many of these posters in the loading screens for the games, for the game itself. So, I'm sure you've seen them all before. And here is security's terminal, so maybe that'll give us some more information. And we see the same three notes as we see on every screen, but there's a new one, deposition. Excerpt from the deposition of the defendant Catherine Stone by Vault Attorney Gerard Miles. Question. Okay, let's pick up where we left off, Kate. Answer. Catherine. Sorry. Right, Catherine. I keep forgetting. Answer. My husband calls me Kate. Question. You were telling us of a discussion you allegedly had with Roy Gottlieb of the Justice Bloc. Answer. Not allegedly. Had. We've been through this. Question. It's still just your word against his, Miss Stone. Please, the discussion. Answer. Sigh. He said my husband's name had come up in their meetings. Question. The candidate endorsement meetings? Answer. Yes. They were going to endorse him. He wouldn't say why, but I know my husband had a regular poker game with some of them, and he'd been on a winning streak lately. Question. And according to you, what did Mr. Gottlieb offer? Answer. He said that he could sway his bloc, prevent the endorsement, but only if I... Question. Only if you what, Catherine? Answer. Only if I... Question. Only if you perform sexual favors? Answer. Yes. Question. Was this just for Mr. Gottlieb? Answer. No. All the bloc leadership. Their friends. Question. And you agreed? Answer. What else could I do? They had a majority. Question. How long did this go on before the endorsements came out? Answer. I don't know. A month maybe? Question. And when they came out, and your husband was endorsed despite your supposed agreement, was that when you decided to kill members of the bloc? Answer. Yes. I thought their majority is pretty slim. If I thin things out a little, especially in the leadership, someone else might get elected. Question. Assuming you weren't caught. Answer. No, Mr. Miles. I expected to be caught. That was my best chance. Now they'll elect me. Question. a confessed murderer? You think voters would be willing to risk putting you in charge? Answer. They have to pick someone and live with their reasons. Question. Yes, but... Answer. Wait and see. And this gives us a little more information. First off, in the candidate endorsement sections, we noticed that the Justice Bloc only invoked one, was the only endorsement for Stone. And the other candidates had multiple endorsements from various blocks. And we also remember Nate Stone saying it was bullshit that he was put on the endorsement. And we also remember from the security tape a reference of pushing someone too far. And that must have been the repeated sexual assault and rape of Catherine Stone. And so this is all starting to come together. But the question still remains, why don't people want to be overseer? And unfortunately, the overseer's terminal, which would undoubtedly answer these questions, requires a key to unlock. So we will have to delve further into the vault. And as we delve into the vault, we do have to remember our original purpose, to find some filters and a differential pressure controller. So we'll grab that as well. And in the underwater section, we don't see much else of use. But we do see sort of barricaded off area with traps set and corpses on the ground, and ammunition, first aid. And this was in the lower levels, and they referenced taking over power, taking over utility. So perhaps this was the result of this. And we can continue on exploring the vault further. And not much to see here. But as we enter this area, see more ammunition boxes, more makeshift fortifications, down in the nuclear reactor section. And surrounding all of them are dead bodies. They're contained within them are all dead bodies. We see it's been flooded. We'll put on the rebreather so we can fully explore. How it got flooded, we don't quite know. But we can see that it wasn't always flooded, as there are fortifications present. Perhaps it was done to flush them out. Perhaps not. And here is the other end of that locked door that we saw earlier. And so we continue to look. That was the reactor area. Here's the cafeteria, another area they want to keep control over, as the food. And we see more fortifications and more skeletons throughout the place. But no terminals in here, no more information. And so the only place left is the atrium that we saw. Up in the Overseer's office, and here on the podium, is the prepared speech of Gus Olson, Ombudsman for the annual Overseer election. And so we will now read that. Good afternoon. Each year it is the appointed task of the Ombudsman not only to officiate the election, but to chronicle it, in hopes that after the last Overseer has finished his term and walked to his death in the chamber behind his office, and the vault has become still, that one day some excavator from humanity, or perhaps some yet unknown race of super beings, might find our records and incorporate them into the historical canon. But lately it's occurred to me that that's not really why. I think the real reason we do it is because we want to believe that somewhere in the archives there's an answer to all of this. Or perhaps there will be one when the historical records are completed and the whole story is told. We want it to make sense, to understand why the vault's mainframe will kill us if we do not offer one of our own as a yearly sacrifice. To fully comprehend why we continue to have these elections despite the unfettered corruption that has plagued it for what must be decades by now. There was a simpler time when elections meant shaking hands and kissing babies, but now with the rise of the voting blocks and this infestation of bribery, drug trafficking, smuggling, and God knows what else, we want to know why. Well, I've been through the archives, and I can tell you, you won't find the answer there. You'll find an account of the first Overseer, who entered the vault as the only citizen aware of the sacrifices that would have to take place. But he didn't have the answers either. If he did, surely he would have foreseen the citizens' anger when he broke the news. Surely he would have guessed that they would want to choose a sacrifice democratically, in the way that we citizens are accustomed to washing our hands of terrible deeds, and that his name would be at the top of the polls, and that the simultaneous vacancy of Overseer and Martyr would forever fuse the two positions here in Vault 11. But he didn't. He had the answers no more than any of us, and the records state that after the citizens discovered that the sacrificial chamber's password was his wife Betty's first name, and its door was unsealed so he could be offered as the first sacrifice, he walked down into that room crying like a child. I can only wonder if there are no answers to be found and we are just going along with this because we don't see another choice. Nevertheless, I still hold on to hope that we can find one. I urge you to all take the journey I took, to remember that it wasn't so long ago that we were ruled by our civility and our dignity, and that those were times when we didn't have to be quite so ashamed. Thank you. And there it is. That final speech answers all of our questions. The Overseer has been chosen to sacrifice themselves, as the Vault's computer mainframe requires one of them to sacrifice themselves. That's the experiment of this Vault. And the first Overseer took that burden upon themselves, and in doing so set a precedent that all future Overseers would take this burden. And this horrible, horrible fate caused the politics around the election of Overseer, which would happen yearly, to become the worst of what the democratic process has to offer. And so now we see the actions of all the major players explained, and Kate's random number choice. We see how that solution sort of caused everything to go crazy, and for armed revolt to happen, and perhaps that is what left us with only the 4 people at the front. But we still have more information to gain in the Overseer's computer. And we'll do so by opening the sacrificial stone.
Congratulations, Martyr. Your fantastic
You
journey
gotta
is
save
only
here.
just beginning. Please proceed to the light. The light is calming and puts your mind at ease. Go to the light.
And you see the bright light is caused only by these floodlights.
Welcome. Please sit in the chair. The show is about to begin.
And let's not sit in the chair for a bit.
The show requires that you sit in the chair.
Let's continue to not sit in the chair.
It is absolutely essential that you sit in the chair.
This chair-sitting dialogue is actually a reference to a famous psychological experiment to see how people would take orders. Dialogue mirroring
You have
the
no other
orders
choice. You must sit in the chair.
given out in that experiment. But of course, we do want to eventually complete the quest. Let's listen to one more dialogue. There it is. All right, we'll sit in the chair. Gotta put our lucky shades back on. Happy trails.
Greetings, Martyr, and welcome. If you're here now, it means you've been offered up as a sacrifice so that your vault can continue to thrive. Currently, you may be feeling sad or angry. Perhaps you never got to have grandkids, or to enjoy the pleasures of a fresh cigar. But march with your chin held high, soldier, and remember that each of us has an important role to play. For some people, their role might be to heal the sick. For others, it might mean they will drive a race car or fly a rocket ship. And some of us are meant to forfeit our lives for the good of the people. Sure, it might not be as fun as driving a race car, but it's every bit as important. Let's take a moment to reflect on the moments that made your life worth living. Think about that time you kissed your steady girl for the first time under the bleachers at the big game. Or when you snuck out after curfew to catch that new flick that your parents wouldn't let you see because it was too scary. Boy, were they right. And who could forget when you met the love of your life? What a looker. These are just examples. Do you feel that feeling stirring in your chest as you think of these things? Good. What you are feeling is peace. You've led a great life. Living it has been its own reward. But it is only the beginning. Close your eyes now and imagine what joys await you in the next life. The afterlife. Can you see them? Good.
And I know what's coming. So I am going to prepare. Oh shit, we were looking at the wrong one. Yes, we got attacked. Oh, maybe not. This should show the effectiveness. All of that in one GRX. But yeah, this quest is a perfect mix of seriousness and hilarity. That's like a funny message. And we can't get out quite yet. But we have to go in here. To the vault mainframe. The cause of all these issues. First we'll override the lockdown. And download these recordings. And listen to them on our way out.
Alright, I know you can hear me, so listen up. There's 5 of us left. 5 out of I don't know how many. So, it's over. We've talked and it's over. We're not gonna send anybody to die anymore. So shut off our water, our gases, or do whatever it is you're programmed to do. But we're done listening to you.
And so it seems that 5 of them were left. We only saw 4 corpses at the front.
Congratulations, citizens of Vault 11. You have made the decision not to sacrifice one of your own. You can walk with your head held high, knowing that your commitment to human life is a shining example to us all. And to make that feeling of pride even sweeter, I have some exciting news. Despite what you were led to believe, the population of Vault 11 is not going to be exterminated for its disobedience. Instead, the mechanism to open the main vault door has now been enabled, and you can come and go at your leisure. But not so fast. Be sure to check with your overseer to find out if it's safe to leave. Here at Vault Tech, your safety is our #1 priority.
And there it is. The hilariously dark irony that if they hadn't chosen to sacrifice anyone, then none of this would have happened. There was no threat at all. And seems like they all made a big mistake. And it also recontextualizes this fight, as it seems that one person, that they all said that they should kill themselves, and one person didn't want to die, and so shot the rest of them, dropped the gun, and left on into the waste. The one survivor of Vault 11. So that's the story of Vault 11. I think it's the best overall vault in the series, and definitely the best of the New Vegas vaults. Which it has to be, you know. Logically. And I hope you enjoyed it. I read it aloud specifically because I think it's such a great vault, and it's got great lore. So I hope you enjoyed this part of the episode. And you know, while we are still here, even though it's running a bit long, we're going to turn in Still in the Dark. just cause I wanna. Oh, and also, fun little fact, Slasher and Psycho do not stack damage improvements, but Slasher and Medics do stack damage resistance, so that's why I put it on. But yeah, there's Vault 11. It's a great vault, you know, it has that mix of seriousness and humor, but it's a dark humor that Fallout's known for. Has that little challenge at the end. So I'm a big fan. People say that the vaults in New Vegas are weak. I couldn't disagree more. And on that